Looking three. Got it. Oh, baby.
It's a goal. The Stanley Cup to the Chicago Blackhawks.
You can put it on the board. Yes.
What up, Sports World? I'm Mike O'Brien, and welcome to the Sports Zone. We hope you are all staying warm out there, but nonetheless, we have some exciting stuff to cover today. But first, let me introduce from left to right my brand new co-anchors for the rest of the year. First, this is Joe Fabiano. Next to him, Chris Hyland, and rounding it out all the way on the right is Tim Van Dyne. We also have one more joining the crew. That is Mr. Jeff Hager, who is now at the wall with an update on ISU women's basketball. Jeff?
The Illinois State was looking for revenge after the men's Shocker basketball team was too much to handle for the Redbirds. On Saturday, the women's basketball team had their own chance to shock the Shockers. The Redbirds Saturday played host to the Wichita State Shockers, who entered the game undefeated in conference. Illinois State hoped to put an end to the Shockers' winning streak on their home court. The game began with a quiet start by both teams until a Stakara Hall layup gave the Redbirds their first basket of the game. The teams would trade baskets and the Shockers would reach their largest lead with 9 points with a minute to play in the half. Alex Harden led the Shockers' first half scoring with 6 points while also adding a first half high of 6 rebounds. She would finish the game with 19 points. The highlight for the Redbirds would come late in the first half when Zenobia Bass grabs Harden's missed free throw, dishes it to Lindsey Smith, and with less than a second left, Smith shoots a half-court shot and nails it at the buzzer to cut the Redbird deficit to 4. 4 points is as close as the Redbirds would get as the Shockers shot 59% from the field in the second half, while their smothering defense held Illinois State to just 39%. Late in the game, the Redbirds made a push with Chloe Nelson scoring 13 of ISU's last 15 points to bring the deficit down to 12 with just a minute to play. But that would not be enough. The Redbirds fall to the Wichita State Shockers 74-58.
We'll take some things, we'll go back and watch film and get better from this. It'll be a quick turnaround again, but I was really proud of our players and the battle and not giving up until the final buzzer.
I believe it was a team effort in total. I just do what I can for my team, whether it's scoring, rebounding, whatever I have to do to help the team get better, that's what I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to carry it over to the next game.
ISU has a quick turnaround from Saturday afternoon as they are scheduled to face off with the Missouri State Bears tonight at 7 o'clock at Redbird Arena. Missouri State comes into tonight's game with a 2-4 conference record and sit in 6th place. Live in the studio, I'm Jeff Hager. Now back to you.
Thanks, Jeff. The ISU men's basketball team faced another tough conference opponent on Saturday when they traveled to Terre Haute to take on Indiana State. The Birds kept it close in the first half, trailing by just one, with 4 minutes before halftime, but Indiana State pulled away quickly in the second half and cruised to a 76-62 win. Illinois State is now 4-4 in MVC play and tied for third. Bobby Hunter led the Redbirds with 13 points, and he will join us a little bit later in the show for the Sports Zone Sit Down. So, Tim, it was a tough 2 games for the Redbirds, losing to the Shockers and Indiana State, but I think that with this young team, they'll be able to learn from this.
Yeah, like you said, they are a young team. They're taking some of their lumps, but a lot of the young guys, their freshman players, have been playing some valuable minutes in these games, like Tony Wills, Reggie Lynch, and Paris Lee, and they're going to gain some good experience from playing in these tough games.
I think you're right.
Yeah, luckily for the team this year, there's no Creighton. The past couple of years, it's been Creighton and Wichita, always as that number 1 and 2 teams. This year, it's just Wichita. So if they can avoid that Thursday playing game in the Missouri Valley Tournament and just try and not see Wichita before that championship Sunday, there's no clear-cut second-place team. Indiana State right now has the record, but outside of Jake Odom, there's really not that go-to player on their team. So they're a very beatable team.
The Valley's a lot weaker this year than
exactly. So weaker makes it an easier road. Not easy, but easier than it's been in the past couple of years.
One person that's been standing out to me is Zach Lofton and his inconsistency. He sat out key minutes in that Wichita State game that I thought he should have been in. But, Dan Muller has a reason to sit him, doesn't he?
He hasn't been making any shots. He's been shooting the ball too much, and he hasn't been making any of them. So I think Dan Muller is just kind of a little bit frustrated with how he's playing right now.
Goes back to what Tim said. I mean, it's a team that definitely has some maturity issues that they need to work on.
Well, and they'll all come back next year. So, I mean, if it's not this year, it's next year. This team's going in the right direction.
It's going to be an exciting year next year, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The Illinois Wesleyan Titans and men and women's basketball teams travel north on Saturday to take on conference rival Carthage. The Titan men came into the contest ranked 4th in the country, but the Redmen proved to be too much to handle for Wesleyan, and Andrew Zimmerick had 15 points in the loss. Carthage was hot from behind the arc, hitting 11 of 21 three-pointers. With the loss, Illinois Wesleyan falls into a 4-way tie at the top of the CCIW.
The Redbirds swimming and diving team was victorious at the Butler Invitational on Sunday. The Birds beat out Xavier, Youngstown State, Butler, and Evansville, earning them first place. Several Redbirds took home first place finishes. April Livingston was first in the 100-yard and 200-yard breaststroke. Erica Haley was first in the 50-yard freestyle and the 100-yard freestyle. And Cecilia Holmes finished first in 3 events. The ISU golf team fell short to in-state rival Illinois Saturday at the Tinervin Cup in Placida, Florida. The Birds lost 6-3, and the win marked the 11th straight victory for the Illini. The Redbirds returned to action February 17th at the Mobile Bay Intercollegiate in Mobile, Alabama. The Redbirds men's tennis team took down Belmont 5-2 this weekend at the Evergreen Racket Club. Doubles partners Rodrigo Oliveira and Mudaboy Apa Nirvana and Jacob Wilson and Kronk Damatir earned victories to spark the Saturday win for ISU, and the Redbirds will be traveling to face Big Ten opponent Iowa February 1st.
The McLean County basketball tournament took place Saturday night at Shirk Center between Blue Ridge High School and Ridgeview High School. Wendy Bazzali was the hero, hitting a game-winning three-pointer after getting his own